So this is Saturday afternoon. This is what my mother's been working on over here. She's coming down this side. It's coming along slowly but surely. This is not a fast thing by any means, but we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel of it. If you come back like this, you can see it's starting to take shape, and we're working our way towards the middle. But let me tell you what, this is aspirational paint stripping, okay? If we are able to accomplish this, this is a feat of paint stripping, just from the aspect of how physically hard it is to do it above your head. Above your head is the kicker on all of this, because the actual pieces themselves are not that hard to scrape. It's just that combination of turning your neck up and the debris, you know, falling in your face and your eyes. And you know, even if you have on a mask, it's still hard because you've got the added aspect of the mask and your goggles, you know, fogging up in here. And in Southwest Georgia, we are about to get hot. If we get into May trying to do this, we're gonna be in trouble just because of the heat factor and just the physical difficulty. You have to be relatively physically fit to do this, just from the amount of tax it puts on your upper body. But I do think it's coming along. We'll see where we get on Sunday.
No, I would. No.
Yes.
No.
Mother, tell me, just like you did a moment ago, what are your thoughts on scraping this ceiling?
I have got one more weekend of scraping this mess and I'm through with it. We will not go home next Sunday afternoon until this is scraped. I will not face it again. My life, I cannot take it another weekend.
So we've reached near hysteria today.
I sure have.
This Sunday with getting this off. We're coming along. I'd say we're a little over halfway there. But yeah.
This is the worst thing I've ever gotten into in my life here, trying to scrape the ceiling.
Don't say that. That jinxes us when we get into something else. That's the worst thing we've ever done in our lives.
Nothing can compare to this.
Oh, don't say that, please.
I've scraped the majority of this wainscot. Nothing. Nothing.
You say that, and then the house is going to say, "Hold my beer." So don't do that.
This will kill you. It will kill you. Make you say things you thought you never would.
We try to keep language on this channel G. It's gotten to a little PG-13 category today. This is rough, people. This is rough. Make sure you're absolutely committed before you start this, because this will try your patience for your project. Absolutely will. This is the progress on the coffered ceiling on Sunday evening. We have 4 more squares to go on this bad boy. And let me tell you, it cannot come soon enough to be over. To take a quick break from scraping paint, as interesting and riveting as that is, I had a request a while back on the channel here to talk about the kitchen, what our plans were. Now, we haven't done anything on the kitchen, so you got to use your imagination on this, but let's walk through the swinging door here. Where we end up from here is in a little area. This kind of a walkthrough. If you look right here, this is the walkthrough area from the formal dining room to the kitchen. Now, it may be kind of hard to tell a whole lot about this, but let me just give you a quick rundown. This area right here is going to be an extension of the pantry in my view of the house. That big open place you see there with the tarp is where a transom used to be. That was completely destroyed from the water damage and the fire and everything else that was back here in decades past. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to put a pretty piece of stained glass and also have it where it will open and shut. And it was open and shutting in the past. The point of that was to vent, you know, the heat from the kitchen. But I thought about putting a lovely stained glass of maybe the Lord's Supper or something like that in there. So that would be what you would see there in a perfect world. We're going to have beadboard on the walls in here because this area of the house is a little bit less formal. There would have been plaster here, but right now my thoughts are to put beadboard. There's the other side of the wall, and again, there's nothing here right now. The room in here, kind of get back from it here, this was the pantry, this area where we keep all of our supplies. And this is where you would have had your cabinetry in this house originally. Like I said, ignore all of our mess, but this is where the pantry will be put back. We'll have us a sink in here. We'll have storage for glassware, canned goods. It's gonna be great. Just use your imagination. You can see some of the old knob and tube wiring here. Scary stuff. Some new plumbing coming up from the upstairs bathroom. Again, though, this will be our pantry, and I do have some pieces of the original pantry, which I'm going to show you. You will walk through here. I'm probably going to take this door down because it's just way too many doors like flapping around. But you'll come through here, and right now where the spindles that we salvaged from the shed, where this is sitting, we're going to close this in and make a place for the washer and dryer. This will be where the washer and dryer sits, and it will be closed in. There's nothing worse to me than seeing a bunch of modern appliances in an old house. I mean, I know you have to have them, but I don't want to see them just out there, you know, loud and proud. And that will immediately face the maid stair. The maid stair is going to stay here. We're just going to paint this and make this a little bit more cheerful looking. The Harry Potter closet will stay. Again, my apologies for this junk. There's been a little tendency to store stuff back here in this area, like pieces of the house, and that's what you're seeing here. But that's where the washer and dryer will sit. As we walk through this doorway here, this is where the kitchen will be. Now, right here where you see this ugly old door, we're going to take that down and probably put a Dutch door there, one that I can open from the top to look out into the back porch. Vintage looking Dutch door will be here. We're going to close in this window just to make some more space, because I'll have the window from the door. Here's an original window configuration, and there's an original window. Now, when I first saw this house years and years ago, there was a fireplace here. I have toyed with the idea of returning the original wood-burning fireplace to this room. This would be the only functioning fireplace in the house, would be in the kitchen. It's just an idea, some things I'm toying around with. This area right now has kind of become the graveyard for pieces of the moldings, the windows, all of that stuff that we pulled out of the shed. Remarkably, this stuff survived. Look at all those beautiful rosettes. It's just amazing to me that it made it. All of these are the corner pieces for the door moldings there, the foot pieces. Just precious, precious things. All of our window weights we were able to get out. These right here are the original windows from the kitchen and that little bedroom off the back of the green room that's all gutted out. I'd love to find a way to fix these windows back to the original weight and pulley system. Have to confer with my carpenter about whether or not that is something that we could possibly do here. And on the ceiling, what I'm going to do with this ceiling, and yes, there has been a fire in this house about 40 years ago. That's what you're seeing up there, those singed rafters. Up here, I'm going to put a coffered ceiling, just like we're dealing with in the front room. And in between that coffered ceiling, I'm going to put 10 tiles. Now the 10 tiles I'm going to use are going to be the ones that we pulled off the roof of the house. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you're wondering what that's going to look like, you're just going to have to wait and see. Right over here, if I can get over here to it, these are pieces of the original pantry. I also have some drawers out of the original pantry. I will eventually take these to a cabinet maker who can advise me on whether or not we can use any of the original and whether or not they can copy and put back. But here they were. These beautiful glass open front cabinets. I just really love them. I would have loved to have seen what they looked like originally, but unfortunately right now this is all that's left of them. And this is kind of a tight kitchen. Gonna have to get pretty creative. I'm gonna put beadboard walls in here. Yes, it had plaster. Yes, I know that's not going exactly back the way it was, but I like beadboard walls in a kitchen, so that's what it's gonna be, and I don't think the house disagrees with me. We'll have like a vintage stove in here. I'm actively looking for a 1940s or 50s gas stove. Probably going to cook and heat with gas in this house. I think in the course of my life, it will be cheaper to heat with gas and to cook with gas than to use electric. Probably wrong under the current circumstances, but we want to think big picture. But this is the kitchen, or what will be the kitchen, and the kitchen extensions. When you go out this door right here, you will walk out onto the back porch, and the back porch is going to be enclosed with a screen and glass, kind of like a summer all-season porch. And you'll have your table out there, and you'll be able to utilize some of that space, which right now is kind of dead space because it's very hot in Southwest Georgia. To have a open back porch like that, it's going to be pretty, but it's going to be dead space. So the back porch will definitely be an extension of the eating spaces. So if we walk back, we're going to come back through. These are the roof tiles that I'm talking about. I'm going to have someone sandblast these, and we're going to put them on the ceiling in the kitchen, in between the coffers. It's going to be fantastic. Hopefully sooner than later we'll be able to accomplish that. Okay, so that's the would-be kitchen. Hello everyone, this is Laura and welcome back to this week's episode at the Gleaton-Askew house restoration. And as the story goes, here yet again this week, boy, are we tired. There's not a day you come away from this house that you are not beat. So we're still scraping the coffered ceiling. We have a hard and fast deadline to finish that next weekend. So this is the last video other than completion in terms of scraping that you're gonna see on that. So just bear with us. I hope some of you find that interesting, just as an essay of what can be done with the Cobra speed heater and, you know, just a little bit of elbow grease and diligence, because that is not for the faint of heart. It's tough, but we are about 70% done with it as of Sunday evening. So that's the good news. I also did a quick walkthrough of what will eventually be the kitchen. We had a request somewhere in the comments a while back to talk about the kitchen, what the plans were for it, how it would be laid out. So I gave a little quick walkthrough back there and, you know, just gave some initial thoughts of what we were going to do. And as everything around here, that is subject to change. So I hope all of you have a great rest of your week and enjoy this video. We'll be back at it again next week. Thank you all so much, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have not already, take a look on our Facebook page. I'm going to be doing a question and answer next week about the house. You can ask anything you like, you know, within reason, about me or the house, or just whatever comes to mind. Go on our Facebook page. It's Gleaton-Askew House Restoration on Facebook as well, and answer my question about, you know, what do you want to know? What do you want to know about us? And we're pretty much an open book here about a lot of things, the struggles that we faced with the house. I'm going to give a little bit of backstory on how I came to get the house, a little bit more than I have before. And I think it'll be a fun video. It won't be scraping paint off the ceiling at the very least. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. We are edging up, but we do need to get to that 1,000 mark, and you are the people to make that happen. Bye everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.